So you want to get ahead of 99% of product managers, but you're doing the exact same things that all the other PMs are doing, diving into endless video tutorials, spending countless hours watching online courses, and paging through cracking the PM interview. You're only going to be on the path to average. And sure, average is fine, there's nothing wrong with average, but all of those amazing perks, the mouth-watering salaries, the coveted promotions, the stellar reputations only go to the top 1%. So if you want to be better than the 99%, you have to be willing to do what others are not. So today we're not talking about the usual work harder, stay longer kind of advice. We're talking about 7 transformational ideas, starting with secret number 1. And even for this video, only the 1% will watch till the end. Build a natural instinct to hold the pen. The 99 just passively go from design reviews to engineering demos to customer conversations. They don't write anything down and they don't own their own narrative. It's the 1% who build that natural instinct to just stand up, go to the whiteboard and write things down, structure things, and even write notes for the meetings and send takeaways after the meeting. In that way, they're able to own the narrative and define how things were discussed, how people remember them, and what the important points were from every conversation. So document everything and own your own narrative. This is also a great way to showcase your work to your peers and your leaders. Stay on top of emerging trends and technology. This currently means playing around with ChatGPT and LLMs and knowing exactly what is going on in the AI space, since that is revolutionizing every industry. The top 1% have a constant pulse of the emerging trends in their technology, not just from a theoretical point of view, but from a practical point of view, where they're using and playing around with these technologies and strategies on a day-to-day basis. In the future, this will include quantum computing, mixed reality, personalized medicine, and more emerging trends. Stay a few steps ahead of the crowd, not just looking ahead, but looking over the horizon. Master your current level. 99% of PMs are only focused on getting that next promotion and getting the title inflation to go to the next level. PMs want to become senior PMs, directors want to become senior directors, and so on. But it's only the 1% who understand that it's critical for them to master the role that they're currently in and the title that they currently have before they make the jump to the next level. For example, when I was a PM, I didn't work on my communication skills enough. And so when I became a senior PM, that was a real weakness that people saw in me as a senior PM. I had to work overtime and really climb the learning curve in order to compensate for the skills that I had not learned at the previous level. Now, I always focus on building the title and level appropriate skills rather than focusing on trying to get the promotion and playing the politics and other games to climb the career ladder. That's just not something that the 1% is focused on. Think about the negative scenarios. 99% always focus on making plans, making strategies, writing PRDs, one-pagers, GTM strategies, all of that, which is great. But they don't think about what are the risks and how to mitigate them. I did an entire video talking about the product Pre-Mortem as a way to anticipate and mitigate risks before they even come up. The summary of that video is that prospective hindsight, imagining that an event has already occurred, increases the ability to correctly identify reasons for future outcomes by 30%. That means just imagining that your product has failed and what could have led to that failure helps you anticipate and mitigate risks much better. And the 1% understand this and are always thinking about not just the positive and ideal situations, but also all of the negative situations and externalities that could impact their product and how they should plan to mitigate those even before they occur. Focus on the last 2 reps. While working out, the first 10 reps are easy. There's something that you've already been doing and your muscles are fresh and are able to do that. But it's only in the last 2 reps where your muscle is really stretched, and that's what leads to growth. The 99% just stay in this zone of easy, where they're constantly doing reps and weights that they're comfortable with without pushing themselves beyond their comfort levels. This is something in weightlifting that's called progressive overload, where you're constantly pushing yourself and your muscles beyond what their current ability is in order to break them down and force them to grow and become stronger. It's very similar in careers and in product management. You have to be constantly pushing yourself into situations and projects which you are uncomfortable with, because that's what's going to lead to that growth and force you to pick up skills, research things, and ideate and figure out how to solve a problem. And that's going to lead to ongoing skill development and long-term career success. Track your progress. Last year, I realized I wasn't making enough progress in my workouts. I had hit somewhat of a plateau and I wasn't exactly sure what to do. I wasn't seeing gains in the mirror, I wasn't seeing changes on the weighing scale, and I was just losing motivation. Then I did something very simple that changed everything. I just started writing down my workouts. Now whenever I am exercising and doing a particular muscle or exercise, I can just flip back and see what was the weight that I did last time, add a few kilos or pounds to the weight and push myself to achieve that. And then very easily I was able to see the progress, where last time I was able to lift 70 pounds, but this time I was able to lift 72 pounds. Even that 2-pound difference, I would not have otherwise realized that I had even made that change. But because I had written down my workouts, I could very clearly look back and see the progress. So you want to constantly be writing things down and tracking your progress, because memory is very short term and we always forget the problems that we were facing even 6 months ago. So you want to constantly be writing things down, things that challenge you, things that excite you, and things that you are learning and skills you're developing. In that way, you'll be able to look back and see, hey, 6 months ago, I used to struggle with writing one-pagers or coming up with product ideas or discussing things with the sales team. But now those are things that I can easily do. That is what will keep you motivated and keep you growing in your career. And now the final secret key, get help. 99% look at get help and think, hey, that's not for me, that's for people who are not skilled or not as talented as me. I'm doing great and I don't need any help. I am able to do everything myself. But getting help doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. World-class athletes never got to where they were without getting help or coaching. You cannot become a top 1% without getting help and coaching, and that is something that is essential. But you don't need to get help 24 hours a day. You don't even need to get help 16 hours a day. You don't even need to get help every day. You just need basically 1 hour of coaching every week, where you're sitting down with a professional coach, mentor, or even your manager to discuss how things went, what you've learned, what feedback you can get from them, and see things from their lens to then change the perspective on how you grow and build new skills. So I encourage you to go out and find that personal coach who can give you that guidance and keep working with you to make sure that your career is progressing in the right direction. Regularly speak to your manager to get feedback and seek out mentors in your workplace or from your personal life who can guide you on steps that are coming up for you. The focus of these conversations should be to unpack anything that you're currently struggling with, see things from a different lens, and then grow with them to figure out how to get past those problems and arrive at different solutions. Thanks for watching till the end. You can check out the links in my profile to book a 15-minute free coaching session with me to see how coaching really works.